Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, November the 25th, 2024. Well, Lulu is testing out her walking. She was able to stand on her feet and make it to the little love seat across the room. Although just as she got there, she thank God it was there, right? Because she landed on it, but she made it. She's happy. She's her legs are getting stronger. And then she heard her Cyrus's voice outside. And what they've started doing with Cyrus's hair, even though he doesn't have a ponytail anymore, they've started slicking it back as if there is a ponytail so that he looks the way he looked from what she would remember, right? So he was talking to the administrator saying, listen, I found this, your facility for my sister, but I found one in South Carolina that's even better. And I'm going to make arrangements to have Lulu moved there. And so the doctor or the administrator says, well, her mother would have to sign off on that. And he goes, my dear sister and I are on one accord. She is going to go ahead and sign the paperwork. She approves of it. And I'm thinking, where the heck is Laura? I haven't seen Laura there one time since Lulu was transferred there. What's up with that? Here you were crying, staying at your daughter's bedside 24/7. She's moved to a facility that's still closer to you, close to you, and you're not there. That was interesting to me, but it's the facility that I'm thinking he was referring to was the one his mother was in. There was a facility that his mother long term, even though she was more, senior care, but she was in a longer term care facility. And I'm wondering, is it that? But my whole thing is Cyrus doesn't get to make plans and arrangements for Lulu at all. As a matter of fact, remember what Laura said? All visits to Lulu must be cleared through me, and he knew that. I haven't heard her give approval on nothing. So I don't know. And the way he's talking to Lulu, it's really creepy to me. I don't get I don't feel right about Cyrus at all. I just don't. So Cyrus, the nurses came in and says, we need to, administer some treatment to the patient. So we're going to need you to leave. And he looked at them. He goes, well, you know what? No, can't that be done later? And the nurse said, no, it must be done now. So I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And the second nurse, because it was two nurses, they're just looking at him. He goes, oh, well, okay. And I'm thinking, whoa, overstepping much? Overstepping? So what they were doing is they were turning Lulu onto her side and putting a pillow behind her back. But they were talking that they had three new patients admitted to the facility today. And she's like, this is the first time we've ever had this many patients administered. And they're really, really busy. And so the one nurse was saying, you know what, but I'm happy to be busy because it makes the day go by so much faster, right? And so they said, but you know what? We better get our coffee break in now because it's going to get even busier later. So they're like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to join you. So they're both headed for coffee break. And Lulu sneaks out of the room and she finds some clothes, I think in maybe a staff lounge. I wasn't paying that close attention to her because, it's miraculous. You just made it to the love seat, but now you go make it down the hall. Okay, because how's that work? How's that really working out for you? And see, she doesn't even know that she's had a liver transplant. She must be on her regiment of anti-rejection medication during its prescribed time period. And she must be on that for years. She's just booking without any medication. Oh my goodness, just what is this, right? That's Lulu. Because before I escape, I'm calling my mother. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to call my mother. Or the last thing that I remember was Dante and I, if I remember, we don't know what she remembers. She remembered Cyrus, right? I'm going to call Dante. His number's the same. Anyway, she's trying to flag down a car. We'll see how that goes. We'll see who picks her up. I don't get it. Now, let's see. That's Lulu. What I didn't understand, everybody, is Lulu's awake. Shouldn't her vitals be more active, doing a different rhythm than when she was in a coma? I didn't get that. Her brain function is now on cloud level 10 versus coma. Her breathing is faster. Her heartbeat is faster because the chick is walking around. She's walking around in her room. Her heart rate should have gone up and they should have seen the spike. This facility is not that good. It is not that good at all, in my opinion. And then when she pulled the little cardiac things, little things that you put on you to monitor, she snatched them off. Her machines should have went off. She snatched the IV needle part, the IV out of the shunt. Not a machine in that facility registered that the patient no longer has a heartbeat because she pulled the stuff off. Definitely, I have a problem with that facility. It's like on not even D rate, F rate, because they don't know what's going on, don't know how to monitor nothing. Now we have, this was so interesting to me, Drew. He wanted to talk to Michael. Michael had his phone, but I guess he had already texted Michael and said he wanted to speak with him. Michael pushed record on his phone and turned it over on the little stand where they had the beverages. I think there was alcohol on there too. Turns it over. And he goes, "You want to speak to me?" And he goes, "Yes, Michael, I did want to speak to you. Listen, I'm trying to make amends. I'm trying to, build a bridge between you and I, And Michael says, uh-huh. Okay, so what did you want to talk to me about? I want to talk to you about Willow. Michael looks at him. Willow? And he kind of leans in a bit. And Drew says, see, I'm taking full responsibility for what happened. Now, mind you, Michael's eyes is up here, right? It's Michael. Drew is taking responsibility. My complete lack of judgment, because it was just one kiss. But this should never have happened. And I want you to know, I respect Willow's family. I respect your marriage. Okay. It'll never happen again. Mm-hmm. So Michael, as Drew's talking, like he's looking on the floor, and Michael's in front of him. Michael is looking at him like, MF-er? You can't even look me in the eyes. Michael is just like, oh my goodness, that look on Michael's face, that's some daggers right there, because Drew is lying through his teeth to him. See, Michael, he plays the long game. He plays the revenge game, because any other man would have lost it and decked Drew, and he'd have done a Jason. Any other man would be like Jason. But Michael's like, no, I'm going to hit you where it hurts. Take everything from you, you know, and then I'm going to let you know. Yeah. So Drew says, have you thought about my offer? Michael said, oh, to make me CEO? He goes, yes, I've thought about it. But I got some questions. What about Curtis? He got Drew to talk about Curtis was fine in the as interim CEO, but for the long game, long haul, he was never going to let Curtis be CEO. He said, Michael, your family. You know that company in and out. I would not appoint Curtis over you. Because Michael said, look, are you offering me the CEO position in Aurora because of the Willow situation? Because of what happened between you and Willow? No. And that's when he went on about, oh, you're the most qualified for the job. And Curtis, Curtis will be put back over the wellness division with a raise, with an increase in pay. He goes, but Curtis is an employee. Yikes. Well, Michael's an employee too. But like Drew was like, no, Curtis is a lower level employee. You're C-suite and you family. You get the whole enchilada. Drew says, I have to put my interest in the company in a trust while I'm fulfilling my duties in Congress. So I trust you to take this company to the next level. So what do you say? And Michael says, okay, I'll accept. And Drew says, good, good, because, look, not only will I know my company's in good hands, I know this is like a first step of us mending bridges, hopefully. And I'm thinking, yes, what you think, Drew? You think you're a slithering snake, lion, weasel? You think that this man caught you on film and you don't even know. Mm, mm, mm. I'm liking the way they write Michael playing this because it just shows the depth of what people would say to your face when they think you don't know nothing. They'll get you to doubting yourself, right? Oh my goodness. So that I'm liking the way this is all developing. But see, I want to see some wrath on Willow. I really want to see him working her over in the hot seat. Now, Michael has every plan to tell Willow he slept with somebody. Now, Sasha had I didn't mention this Friday. She took out a pregnancy test from her purse that she's going to take. So if Sasha finds out she's pregnant, she's going to tell Michael immediately. So Michael will then have to really ramp up the busting out Willow and Drew and then telling him, you know, by the way, I got a baby on the way, courtesy of you. Because had you not ripped my heart out, stepped on it, I had to find out by the man you was kissing on that you were kissing on him, right? Anyway, now I'm not saying it's Willow's fault that Michael slept with Sasha, but in a way it is. That's just the fact of life. So now we have Ava's trials beginning. Christina walks outside for a few minutes, and Sunny and Alexis walk up like they a couple, like they a pair. I mean, they're supporting each other. They really, really are. As a matter of fact, in the picture there, it almost looked like they're holding hands walking up. They weren't, but you know, almost looked like it. So they asked, how was Christina? She goes, I'm fine. She goes, I'm going to be fine. And justice is going to be served. And Alexis says, remember, Christina, a lot of variables here. Remember what I told you about. Yes, I remember. I remember. But I know. Okay. So they had Dr. Navarro testify. They had the doctor that treated Christina's injuries testify. They had Jocelyn testify, Gio testify, Trina testify as to what happened on the day Christina fell out. You remember, Trina was the one that saw Ava in the window. She didn't want to have to say it on the stand, but Ava was like, tell the truth. Just don't worry about it. Go ahead. Okay. So she told, yes, she saw Ava in the window looking down at the pool, and then Ava shut the curtain. Gio gave his accounting of how he assisted Jocelyn in the pool, and Jocelyn gave her lifeguard accounting as to what happened. So now Christina is the next witness after the break. So after the break, the district attorney calls her, had her telling a very, very compelling story. And oh, Christina did such a good job. I was actually proud of her. I'd have believed her, right? She made sure she didn't call the baby Adela, even though the DA was saying Irene Davis Ashford every time she was referring to the baby. She was referring to the baby by name to really humanize the baby to the jury, right? And Christina did very well. So now the judge says, okay, defense, would you like to cross-examine the witness? And Rick said, yes, I would, Your Honor. And, Christina wasn't crying, but she was emotional telling her story. And he goes, before we go any further, Miss Corinthos Davis, are you okay? I know this is tough and you're reliving what you went through. Are you okay to continue? And she goes, yes, I am. I'm fine. And she's looking at Rick. So Rick walks up to her and he said, Christina Corinthos Davis, why are you lying? Point blank. Why are you lying? And she almost did a double take, like, wait, what? And Ava looked and Sonny looked, because see, Ava knows Rick's good. He ain't afraid to point blank say, you're lying. You're lying. Because she did say Ava pushed her out that window. And here's the funny thing, everybody. Before Christina got up to testify, she did a flashback as to what happened. She knows Ava did not push her. Ava reached for her. We all know Christina jerked back and tripped over that bag, and she remembered that too. So she's out and out lying. Ava didn't push her. So anyway, this is gonna be good. I like Rick as an attorney. He's good. I believe he would give Diane a run for her money, even though Diane will win. But I believe Rick would give Diane a run for her money. So this week is going to be really good. The rest of the week, for General Hospital, I'm hoping starting out good. I'm liking the stories the way they're going right now. So let's get into comment corner. I'm going to start my trusty dusty stopwatch, everybody, for 10 minutes. And I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to read down. So we'll see how far I get. There were 90 plus comments for Comment Corner. So that's telling you, everybody, I'm not even going to get a third of the way, but I'm going to read for 10 minutes. Let me do that, okay? Jacarly says, I was so happy that Jason and Dante and the kids all are going to live at the Quartermains. That's what's best for the kids. Excuse me, they were so cute when they were all working together to clean up. Birdie says, love, love, love your recaps. Keep on trucking, better than the soap. Well, look, I'm trying to add my little spin to some of that. Wendy says, Jason made me smile, letting Danny know he was staying and moving in. Cyrus has something to do with Sam's death. He's a weirdo. And is capable of anything crazy. Gio and Trina, fast forward. Me too. This trial is going to be a hot mess. Cause for once, Ava didn't push her. it was an accident. And if Calamity Jane, aka Christina, 9 months pregnant, hadn't gone there jumping bad, they both would have been fine. That is true. Patricia says, I love hearing your comments. Sometimes I'm working and can't take the time to read, but I can listen easily. Please keep it up. Okay, I'm going to keep it up for as long as I can. Like I said, until we have some problems with it. Linda says, love you, Daily Recap Lady. It's all good. And then Linda also says, Curtis doesn't know about Drew sexing Willow. No, he doesn't. Curtis is still talking about, I don't know why Jason did this. He asked Michael, did you tell Jason about the kiss? Yes, I did. Michael's like, yes, I did. Um, I think that Michael was doing what Michael probably is doing is giving Curtis the heads up when Drew changes lanes for Curtis. Nope, Michael's looking for an ally for the long game. Curtis will realize that Michael was truthful with him, and Curtis at that point will line himself with Michael against Drew. In the end, Drew will lose everyone who cared about him. Drew's personality changed when Nina did the SEC thing against Carly. And it's possible that Drew is doing all what Drew is doing is all about revenge against Michael, Nina, and Willow. Drew doesn't care about any of them, even Willow, because Drew is trying hard to break up Willow and Michael. Yes, he is. Great comment, Linda. Everybody go ahead and finish reading Linda's comment. Cooking with Monica says, Jason moving in is going to be so crazy. I can't wait to see what happens next. Maybe he and Sasha can get to know each other. And then Cooking with Monica also says, I saw a test in Monica's bag. Can't wait to find out if she's preggo. I know. Michelle says, creepy Drew is using everyone to get what he wants. Jack Brennan hit it on the darn head when he told Carly that Drew was a user. And if Curtis was smart, he would listen um, to what Michael was trying to tell his behind about Drew. Well, guess what? Michael did the next best thing. Got to mention this too. After Drew walked out, Michael called Curtis and said, have you thought about what I said? He goes, no, he goes, I heard you reaching out to Drew. And Curtis says, yeah, I wanted to verify, what you had told me. So Michael said, how's this for verification? And he pushed play on the recording. Now, here's the thing, everybody. I don't know how that works because if I'm on the phone with somebody, I didn't know that because the recording is another app. I didn't know that you could go to a recording app while you're on the phone and play it, and the person on the phone hears it. Let's tell you, I never did that. So, can you really do that? Does it work like that? I didn't think so. Right? I thought he was going to have to text Curtis the file. That's what I thought. Okay, Lena says it's going to be so fun to see Jason live with Tracy, but Drew will be uncomfortable knowing Jason is watching him with Willow. LOL. And I'm really thinking Jason and Sasha will have a thing. She'll be torn between Michael and Jason. That'll be interesting. But Dante with Chase and Jason at a dinner table would be nice. A cop and a gangster in one room. That'll be interesting. Jason is not that kind of domesticated person. He's not going to be sitting down dinnering. You know, he might have dinner, a snack with Danny in the kitchen. Jason is still got things to do. He will be there to make sure Danny does his homework, that then Danny's in the house. But Jason ain't the kind, what's for dinner? Right? I am says Jason and Dante co-parenting. Sam's half of Aurora should be in the will. I think so too. Michael will still be a part of Aurora in some capacity. This may impact Curtis as well. Say what you will about Michael, but business wise, he is smart. Michael dropped out of high school, never went to PCU. Edward offered him a job at ELQ, nepotism, and he is feared by Ned because he is shrewd. You watch Sonny doing business all those years. Remember, Michael was something else, ordering his driver around, and the little redhead freckled Michael, he could dance too. I like that little precocious one. He was precocious like Spencer. Just K says, I think Rick will get Christina when he asked her, how did Ava push her? Yeah. She will go off from the photos of Ava's hand on her arm. It wouldn't make sense because when you push someone, you push on their chest or shoulders, not arm. Yeah. I feel that will bring reasonable doubt in Christina's character. I feel that too. Just Chaos says Scott said Drew would allow Scout said Drew would allow her to stay at the queues while he commutes. So who the heck is going to take care of Scout? What the heck? I know. He's just going to leave her for the house to take care of her. Olivia's there. Michelle says, right? Everyone missed that part. Drew didn't give a darn about Scout. You see, he didn't want Alexis to have her neither, but Alexis wanted Jason to let someone like Drew raise his son when Drew didn't give a, ooh, wow, what kind of word is that, Michelle? About Scout. I'm hoping that Sam did change her will after Drew wanted to put Scout in the boarding school. And then Linda says, I love you, Recap Lady. Love you too, Linda. Lucy says, thank you, Daily Recap Lady, for your General Hospital review and comment corner. Have a great weekend filled with lots of smiles. Thank you so much, Lucy. DB says, didn't TJ need Molly when they first lost Adela/Irene? Yes, he did. He wished Molly would come home. She just couldn't be there. Christina can just kick rocks. Curtis can blackmail Drew. That's not Curtis's style. And Nina, if he plays his cards right. He still likes Nina. We love you and comment corner. Thank you, DB. Michelle says, but he's not, because Curtis is clueless that he believes that creep Drew is his friend and is loyal to him. Curtis knows that Drew slept with Nina, and he knows about the kiss, but he really didn't know that his so-called best friend slept with Willow. And Michael didn't tell him that either. Uh, just say Drew tells Curtis what he wants to hear. And the messed up part about that is Curtis believes his crap. Yes, Curtis does believe Drew, believes him too much. And my last comment for 10 minutes here is Sarah. Sarah says, I enjoy your podcast and comment corner. But here are so many ads pinging across my screen. Um, can't they run them at the beginning or the end? They are really distracting. I need ads. Wait, I know ad provides revenue, but there must be a way to do it without constant interruptions. The only way is to have a paid YouTube account, and then you won't have any ads. Yeah, that is the only way. Sorry for the interruptions. That's it, everybody. That's it for comment corner. Everybody go back and read everybody else's comments. Like I said, there were 90, and I only got to read, what, about 20, if that. Yeah, it's about 20. So everybody, I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap of General Hospital.